To add a conditional branch in a Brevo automation, open your workflow, click the plus icon wherever you want the path to fork, choose conditional split, set the rule you want to evaluate, and hit save. Brevo instantly creates a yes path and a no path, and contacts will follow one or the other based on whether they match that condition. That's the core mechanic, and honestly, it takes less than a minute once you know where things live. But what makes the difference between an automation that hums along and one you have to untangle later comes down to how you place that split, how you name your branches, and the conditions you actually select. So let's get into it properly. Starting from your dashboard, first head to brevo.com and sign in. Use the exact credentials for the account that holds the automation you want to edit. I've lost count of the times I've nearly modified a client's workflow while still logged into my own test account. Once the dashboard loads, look to the left sidebar and click Automations. That opens your master list of all automation workflows. If you've never built one before, you'll see the Create an Automation button, but today we're editing an existing flow, so scroll or search until you find the one you need. Give it a quick scan before you open it. Ask yourself whether you really need a branch here, or if a simple time delay or a filter earlier in the sequence would do the job. Conditional branches are powerful, but they add complexity, and I'm a big believer in keeping automation logic as flat as possible until a real need surfaces. Click the automation to enter the workflow builder. This is the visual canvas where you see every trigger, action, and delay as connected nodes. Take a second here to review the whole flow. I always check the trigger first. If the trigger is a list entry, you might branch based on contact attributes. If the trigger is an email click, you might branch based on that specific interaction. Understanding the entry point saves you from building a split that never gets reached because contacts already left the flow earlier. Now, locate the spot where the journey should diverge. Click the little plus button that sits between two steps. A menu pops up with available actions, emails, SMS, wait periods, and what you're after, conditional split. Brevo sometimes labels it just condition in newer interface versions, but the icon of a forking path is identical. Select it. A new branching node drops right into your canvas, showing two outgoing arrows, one for contacts who meet the condition, one for those who don't. Here's where I see the most mistakes. When you configure the condition, Brevo presents a list of categories, contact attributes, email engagement, list membership, e-commerce activity, and so on. Pick the one that aligns with your actual goal. For example, if you want to send a different follow-up to people who opened a specific email, choose Email Campaign Activity and then Has Opened. You then specify which campaign. The interface is straightforward, but the drop-downs change depending on what you select first, so work top to bottom. Enter the details and then the crucial part. Name your branches meaningfully right away. Click the little pencil icon on each branch path and type something clear like opened BIP offer and did not opened reminder. I cannot stress this enough. 6 months from now, when you revisit this automation, those labels are the only thing preventing a headache. Generic yes and no will leave you guessing. Save the condition and the split is locked in. Now, Brevo automatically creates two separate paths downstream. You can then drop completely different sequences onto each branch, different emails, different wait times, even different exit conditions. One tip that comes from hard experience: always place your split before the content that should differ. If you put a 1-day delay before the branch, every contact waits that day, whether they'd end up on the true or false path. That's not wrong. But if the goal is immediate personalization, you want the split right after the trigger or after a shared initial email. Before you publish or activate this workflow, you must test it. Brevo has a test workflow button, usually in the top bar. When you click it, you can simulate a contact by pasting in an email address or selecting a test profile. Run the test for both outcomes. First, use a contact that definitely matches the condition and watch the path light up green. Then, use a contact that definitely does not match and confirm the other branch fires properly. I once skipped testing the false path and launched an automation that sent everyone a welcome back discount, even to people who'd never unsubscribed, because the condition evaluated to false and funneled them into a catch-all that wasn't supposed to be the fallback. Lesson learned: always test both branches. Conditional branches really shine when you use them to personalize without ballooning your automation into a spiderweb. For instance, a branch checking a contact's preferred language attribute lets you send localized emails from a single workflow. A branch based on total order value can route high spenders to a dedicated sales rep alert, while everyone else gets a standard thank you. The built-in segment builder does the heavy lifting, so you don't need to pre-sort contacts before entering the automation at all. One final watch out. Brevo counts automation actions towards certain plan limits. Adding branches doesn't duplicate the base action count, but the actions inside each branch do count. If you have 5 emails in the yes path and 5 in the no path, that's 10 distinct email sends that could fire. So keep an eye on your monthly sending quota if you're close to the ceiling. I always like to pause and ask, does this branch genuinely change the experience, or am I over-engineering it? Often, a single dynamic content block inside an email template does the job with zero branching. Brevo's dynamic content feature can swap text and images based on the same contact attributes, and it doesn't add any workflow complexity. Use branches when you need entirely different sequences or timings. Use dynamic content for smaller tweaks. So to recap, you've now placed a conditional split in your Brevo automation, defined a clear rule, labeled both outgoing paths, attached distinct actions to each, and tested both the true and false outcomes. Your contacts will now move through a journey that actually adapts to who they are and what they've done, which lifts engagement without any extra manual work. Go ahead and activate the workflow, then check your automation analytics in a few days to see how contacts distribute across the branches. If one path sees all the traffic and the other sits idle, the condition might be too narrow, or the data field might be empty for most contacts, easily fixed by tweaking the rule. Save yourself a bookmark for this workflow so you can revisit it whenever you need to refine the logic. And as your strategy evolves, those descriptive branch names you set earlier will save you every single time.